Welcome to the Shy Yapper podcast, the calm before the overshare. I am your host, Tiffany Hudson. Thank you for listening. Welcome back, Yapper Society. This is another episode of the Shy Yapper podcast. I am your host, Tiffany, and this is the calm before the yap. All right, guys. Let's just be real. It's been a minute. I always come back and say I'm gonna do better. Y'all know I got ADHD, but I am back with another episode. I'm excited to be here. And I always say this is going to be like a little quick, short kind of recap, but let's just see what happens. Let's just go with the vibes. So, first off, let's happy football season. So, we got our jersey on here. I am a huge Falcons fan. So, it is week one of our regular season, so hopefully my boys can do it this year. So I'm really excited and really hopeful. So we're wearing our jersey to kind of rep for the home team. And I just want to kind of catch up with you guys. I hope everyone's been doing well. I hope everyone's just had a great, August into September. And so let's just yap a while. So let's start with life updates. If you've been a listener or a watcher of the podcast, you know that I have transitioned roles. I work in education and I'm at a new school this year. And the first month has been really good. I really am glad that I left my previous situation. And so going from I've previously worked at elementary and middle schools, now working in a high school, it's different, but it's not a bad different. And so the last month has been a lot of ad drops. So I feel like that's all I've been doing at work is changing schedules, which is fine. It is what it is. But now we're kind of at that season where that's over. Even though people are still asking, but you know what? We're just like, you've had time. I am very much learning in this role to be comfortable saying no. And I know for me, that's a growth because I'd want to I want to make people happy. I don't want people to be like upset or anything, but like I am getting very comfortable saying no, being like, hey, I'm sorry you're going through that. I'm sorry you're having that experience, but no. That's died down. That's over. So I'm really excited because now I get to kind of be in front of students more, whether it's meeting with students. I'm going into classrooms next week. We have some programming coming up. So it's a really exciting time for work. Personally, things are going really well. I will say life is lifing as far as this time of year is always very busy, especially on like the mom front for me. So for those who don't know, I do have a daughter. She's in high school, and it's getting her into the school year, into her classes. She does have, she's on the spectrum. So some of those executive function skills are they're not the strongest. So kind of helping her get in that groove, and kind of setting up her systems for like studying and tests and things like that. And Lord, y'all, my child, bless her heart, she is her mother's child where she's like, I got it, I got it, I got it. And most of the time she does. A lot of times she does got it, but sometimes she doesn't got it. And asking for help is not one of our strong suits. So it's funny having a little human and seeing you in them because asking for help is not something I naturally do, but like having to teach her that hey, it is okay to ask for help, it's kind of like I'm teaching myself too. So that's always interesting. So far so good, y'all. We're at the 4.5 week mark, 5 weeks for school, and so far so good. So hopefully it will kind of continue on this positive track with her. But in addition to kind of helping her get into school and kind of getting her, herself on track. And y'all, she's a junior, so this is a huge year for her. Her extracurriculars, and I am mom, I'm I'm cheerleader, I am ATM, I'm chauffeur, I'm scheduler. Because she does activities both in school and outside of school. So trying to juggle her schedule with my schedule because I still have my things in life going on, and then trying to have my personal life relationship and his schedule, and like when are you free, and y'all know it's a long distance relationship. It's a lot of balls in the air right now, and so it's been kind of tough trying to juggle everything, and so your girl was worn out. So even 2 weeks ago, y'all got sick. So and I don't get sick very often, but I just had to stop everything. It was like for 3 or 4 days. I was out, and it was bad. I think it was something I went to like a fish fry, and then like by the time I got home, I was like I had chills. I was like I'm cold. Like it was bad. So that had me on that had me down for a few days. But I got to bounce back, and I'm feeling better, and I feel like this I feel really good. I'm feeling like I'm in a really good space, just personally. And we're going to kind of jump into that stuff a little bit in a minute. So, yeah, so just kind of overall, just again, a lot of juggling, but nothing that's not too manageable. And I'm learning to kind of give myself permission to, when I need to rest. When I need to put, the things down, put them down for a little bit. And so that's just kind of been my life right now. So I haven't been as present here, but I've been doing better about posting like little videos, like smaller content. Hopefully, you guys checked out my first little Yappers Digest video, and it was just like a quick video that I made, and so I was really cool about that because going into some other things that growing my platform is a goal that I really want to focus on for the remainder of the year. And that kind of leads us into my Yappers Digest. So, Yappers Digest is just a segment on the podcast or videos of just like quick little things that I'm kind of obsessed with or that are just on my mind that I want to share with you guys. So, the first few things, today's Yappers Digest are like things I'm obsessed with currently. So, today the first thing is Netflix. So, I was actually on here earlier and I was watching some other content from what some of my favorite content creators. They have a panel. It's called the Ooh Ladies First panel. It's Bondi Blue, Niecy Dixon, and Jamie That's Me. If you are not following them, if you don't watch them, those ladies are phenomenal individually, but they have a weekly podcast, like 3 weeks out of the month. They'll do like a panel like situation. It is so good. I love it. So I was getting caught up on that from this past week. And they talked about this Netflix show called Unknown Number. It's like a documentary. And so they started talking about, they just like kind of played the trailer for it. And I said, oh my God, I got to watch this. So I like stopped watching the YouTube because I didn't want any spoilers, went over to Netflix and I watched it. It was like one episode or whatever. Y'all, this story was crazy. So for those who haven't seen it, hopefully you've seen it. Just fast forward if you don't want spoilers. So this was about two teens in like Michigan, back in like 2020, 2021, like around there. So a few years ago, they were dating. They were like 13, they were like 13, 12, 13, 14 years old. So they're like young and they were dating and all like, they just started getting these like random harassing type of text messages. And it was like, oh, it was Lauren and like Connor. And the message was like, oh, Lauren, Connor's gonna dump you. Like, Connor doesn't love you. Like, just like really mean type of messages with the intent to like break up this couple, like this like middle school freshman, like high school couple. And so it kept going on, and it was from an unknown number. So they didn't know who it was. They thought it was like maybe a friend playing a joke, and then like it just kind of continued or whatever. So they were getting the text messages for a while, and then it kind of like died down, right? So then, they're kind of living their lives, and then all of a sudden it kind of picked back up like almost a year later. It was like really weird. And the messages were, y'all, they were so vicious and nasty and like really like hurtful. It was like extreme like cyberbullying situation. And so when it kind of picked up again, that's when they kind of told their parents what was happening. And that's when like they went to the school, talked to the principal, got the sheriff involved, and were trying to investigate. Like kids were being questioned. It was Facebook groups going on. The parents are like, hey, this is happening. Like, please check your kids' phones. This is really harmful. Sadly, like the couple, like it eventually like split them up. And even after they broke up, the messages continued. So they thought that like once they broke up, like the messages would stop. Because again, the original messages were kind of like, oh, he doesn't like you, he wants me, he's gonna dump you, like you're not making him happy, like I do all of these like explicit things to him. Y'all, it was like a lot. So anyway, so they eventually the couple split up, but the messages didn't stop. And so like poor Lauren, like the messages to her started being like threatening, like, take yourself out. If you don't, we will, and we're gonna make your life miserable. And then like Connor is like trying to move on with his life, and he talked about like at one point he started dating somebody else like in another town, and that person's mom, like the new girlfriend's mom, started getting messages to the point where she like eventually broke up with him because it's like, this is crazy. And it was kind of the same thing, like, well, I want him and like he's mine, and just like real possessive and like out there. So, it was just a lot. And so fast forward, because like Connor's family, like nothing was happening with the sheriff, and like the sheriff was like basically like, get new phones, and they're like, no, we shouldn't have to get, our child shouldn't have to get a new phone because like this is happening to him, something needs to be done. So then they like take it to like the sheriff, then like takes it to the FBI and the cybersecurity unit. And y'all, again, if you, spoiler, like if you don't want to know, like get off now. But come to find out, so once the FBI gets involved, they're doing their investigations, they're checking IP addresses. So they find out where like they're going through it, because it's a lot of like the spoof numbers and stuff. But then they find out like they're like this one, like through IP addresses, they find out the mom of the girl. So like Lauren's mom is the one sending the messages. Like, you are cyber stalking and cyberbullying your own child. Y'all, when the scream, I screamed. It was so weird. I was like, oh my God, it's her mother? Like, what? It was, y'all, it blew my mind. So yeah, it was the mom. So the mom of the girl. And so then the mom, so, and mind you, the mom is in the documentary. So like she's talking about like how she was going up to the school and how she would meet with the police. Like this is how this documentary is being like shown to us. Like the mom is like in it, like concerned and trying to figure out who done it. All to find out, to come, like, it's you did it. So then like they show footage of when like the sheriff like goes to mom's house and is like, hey, we know it's you, we have a search warrant, like we need your phones and stuff like that. It was so crazy. And like poor Lauren, because to see her like just kind of when they told her, she was just like, I feel like she was in shock, and she was just kind of sitting there. And then they call the dad, and dad is like, we're like, hey, you need to come home. And like the dad was like upset, but like I said kudos to dad, because dad was like, I'm gonna need you to go, like call your parents, tell them you need to go to their house for the night, because basically he was like, if you don't go, it's not gonna be good. So like, and I get it, that's a natural human emotion, because to see your daughter go through this like hell for almost 2 years, and then to know that your wife and her mother is at the helm and like the person responsible, it was crazy. And y'all, when I tell you, this lady really had no remorse. It was like, oh, I did it to get to the bottom of what was going on, because she claims, mom claimed in that documentary, that she wasn't the one that started the text messages, that somebody else started it. She just kind of picked it back up when things got slow, and she tried to justify it as like, oh, well, I was just trying to get to the bottom of who started the text messages, and hopefully, by what I was saying, it was going to come out, and like, you know what I mean? So y'all, it was so weird and so creepy. And then the guy, Connor, was like, basically him and his parents were like, they think that the mom was obsessed with the boy, which I kind of think too, because when he was dating her daughter Lauren, like they said that he would like the mom would send messages to like the boy. Mind you, again, this boy's like 13, 14 years old, so she would send like messages and try to build a connection with him. And when he would come over, she would like make him dinner and like cut up his steak for him, and was like very like creepy attentive. So kind of based on all of that, I think she was jealous of her daughter because she was obsessed with the boy. And it was like, you need help, lady. And so she did end up going to jail for like a year and a half. She wasn't there very long. She got out last year in 2024 and has not seen her daughter like since. But and it kind of broke my heart a little bit because Lauren was like, while her mom was in jail, they would still communicate, they would still talk. And like the mom was manipulative before, but even in jail behind bars, mom was still manipulating her and trying to make her feel bad. They showed one email that she was like, you only said bye. You didn't say I love you. You made me sad, but I forgive you. I love you. And I'm just like, I know you are lying to me. You're sitting here manipulating this girl still behind bars. And the crazy part was, y'all, again, this mom was sending text messages telling her to unalive herself and was like, if you don't, we will. And the mom was like, well, I knew she wasn't going to do anything for real because of the relationship we have and the conversations we have. So, but what if she did? Because the FBI found hundreds and hundreds of pages worth of text messages that this mom was sending to her daughter and her boyfriend. Like, and then come to find out, apparently she had allegedly had two jobs, but like we're like, no, she had been laid off or like didn't even have those jobs. So you literally all you did all day every day was sit here and cyber stalk and bully your own daughter and her boyfriend. Like the lady is certifiable. But anyway, y'all, that took me out, y'all. And like other kids were being blamed and like lost friendships over this, and like it was it was mind-blowing. So that's yes, so if you haven't seen it, check it out, because again, like it's just some really like not okay people in this world, and that's a prime example. And again, the part that kind of the one of the parts that really upset me is, again, mom took no accountability. She never owned up to like starting the text in the first place and just took no accountability. And at the end of the day, she was like, well, I just want a relationship with my daughter. I had this trauma. So she did have something happen to her when she was 17. And so she said all of this was like a way to like stop her child from going up and to like kind of basically control her childhood. But it's like, no, you did some seriously traumatic, dangerous things. And I just pray that Lauren is getting some therapy and that she stays far away from her mom as possible, because if it were me, oh, I'd never speak to my mom again. Easy. I couldn't. So anyway, so that's the first thing. So that's my that's what I did today, y'all, is once I got back home from running errands and everything and I saw that again, I just immediately went to Netflix. So that's one thing I'm kind of obsessed with right now, because I'm just like, whoo, that was a lot. The second thing I am currently obsessed with is the Great Lock-In. So if you did see my first Yappers Digest video, it was about the Great Lock-In, which is all over social media and TikTok. It is your sprint from September 1st through the December 31st. It is a time to really lock in on whatever goals you have set for yourself. And so I love this, because if you guys don't know, or if you're new here, I have goals that I've set for the year. At the beginning of the year, I actually created a bingo card. I'm going to give you guys an update in a little bit. So I am really big on goal setting. I'm really big on like accomplishing things. I have like a really huge sense of, I'm a Capricorn, so I like to accomplish things and I like to win, and I'm very like competitive, even like kind of with myself. And so I really wanted to, like, based on my bingo card, really take like 2 to 3 goals and really amplify them and really lock in. So the 3 things for my great lock in that I'm focused on is, number one is my coaching business. So I am an executive function coach and I work with teens and young adults. So I really want to push that my business and really kind of build my clientele from now until the end of the year. The second thing was I want to work out more consistently, because I've been very up and down. So building a consistent workout routine. And then the third thing was to grow my social media platforms, specifically my YouTube and my TikTok. So those are the 2 I'm focusing on. And so every day I'm like doing things things to work on those three goals. And so, hence, while I'm back, I was like, okay, I got to get back to my friends. I got to get back to the Yapper Society because your girl has goals. So, those are the three things that I'm really focused on that as we head to the end of the year. And I absolutely am excited because this leads into, like, again, my birthday season. Because the lock in is like, it ends New Year's Eve. So, like, the end of the year, y'all, my birthday is a few days after that. My birthday is January 3rd. And not only is that's like a really great time. So my lock in will probably last until my birthday, but it's also, I'm turning 40. So I turned 40 on my birthday. And so it's, for me, it's like a great way to like close out my 30s. Like, what better way than to be stronger physically, like, attain my goals as far as with my business and growing my social media platforms and getting it to a space where it's monetized and I am, building my audience here. So, like, this was like the perfect thing for me. So I'm really excited. So I have like a little calendar where each day I kind of check off tasks that I've done to achieve one of those goals. So far, because this is kind of the end of week one, I will say I noticed I have increased my presence as far as promoting my programs and promoting my coaching business. And I really, for me, I try to kind of separate like my social media. So like my TikTok, I will say I'm probably the most open, genuine, not genuine, but like the most open and just like transparent on TikTok, because for me, honestly, I have the least amount of people that know me in real life on my TikTok pages. So it's like, it's people that like you've kind of built community with. And people say that all the time, that TikTok is kind of like their open space, where they like their safe space. And for me, that is true. Whereas like my Instagram and my like Facebook is more like personal people. It might be coworkers, it's like family, it's friends and stuff like that. So they know parts, but they don't know all. So I've even started to, and like being transparent, it's like, okay, are they going to understand? Are they going to judge? Are they going to really root for me? So kind of getting out of that, like being scared. So even the things like I do, because some of them probably don't even know I'm an executive function coach. So I've started to do the things on TikTok and kind of move them over to the other spaces so that they know. So it's like, okay, I'm not hiding this. I want you guys to know me and the things that I'm doing as well. So I am really proud of that. So I will say that so far with the lock-in, again, I'm being more present, I'm being more open, I'm sharing more of my business, or like, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is what I have going on. And even with this podcast episode, once it's uploaded, I'm going to share it to my social media platforms, all of them. So people are like, hey, like, oh, snap, wait a minute, she's got a YouTube page? Like, yeah, shawty. Like, go check it out. So, yeah, so it's really great. And again, I am a results-oriented person. So, again, having like a platform or having a system of like checking off what I've done, it's a visual and it like helps me achieve those goals. So I love it. So if you are participating in the Great Lock-In, please drop in the comments. What are you focused on? What are your goals from now until the end of the year? Because I want to root for you. I want to cheer for you. And I want to hear all about it. So let's hear it. And the third thing that I'm obsessed with right now is They Do Pre on TikTok. So if you're on TikTok, his name is young man named Zay Dupree, and he is like telling, like, he's able to like detect people's accents and where they're from based on like them talking. I love those videos so much. It came across my For You page, and like people would just be like, oh, can you guess where I'm from? And like he can break it down, y'all. He like explains like, oh, well, you said this like this, and this, that accent is only, based in this region of the United States. Or like that inflection on that R, it comes from like the Midwest or like the North New England region. And then like, y'all, it is wild. And so he is like blown up on TikTok, and I just absolutely love it. I love watching the videos of like the original people, and then his explanation of like how he's easily able to like guess where you're from based on your accent. And so I would love to see if he knew where I'm from. I think that would be too cool. But then he'd be like, girl, you from Mississippi, like you from the South, honey. Because I don't think I have an accent, but in the last video I was just watching, he's like, everybody has an accent, even if you don't hear it. and it might not be regional, but even things based on like gender or, where you're, ethnicity, like there are accents, even if it's not maybe like location based. So it's really interesting and it's really fun to watch. It just kind of makes me smile because again, like the boy is good. Okay, he is able to like he'll be like, oh yeah. And then he's like, oh yeah, based on this and this and this, you're from Chicago. You're from like Queens, New York. So I haven't seen a lot of Southern people. So hopefully I'll go back and look. So hopefully he's done some Southern people like, don't leave us out because we don't all sound the same. So, or maybe he feels like we're just like too easy because I feel like Southern people, I feel like our accents are so different. So yeah. So anyway, so like his videos, like when I see his videos on TikTok, I'm obsessed. So those are kind of my obsessions for now. So yeah, so drop in the comments, what are you obsessed about? What is something that you're just kind of what are you hooked on right now? So share in the comments, let me know. Let's be honest. Back to school is an exciting time for students. But if your student struggles with skills such as time management or organization, it can be a real hassle and a real headache for both the student and you. Hello, my name is Tiffany. I'm a school counselor, executive function coach, and owner of Amity Coaching and Consulting. And I am hosting my first back to school reset. It's a 10-day program designed for teens and young adults. This program will consist of Zoom meetings. They will receive a personalized success plan, and they'll learn various strategies and executive function skills that they will need throughout the year for success. Our space is very limited, and this is our last weekend to sign up. So if you are interested, click the link in the description to learn more about the sprint, along with registering for our program. We will see you on Monday, September 8th for our 10-day back to school reset. All right, I hope you guys liked my commercial for my next program starting on Monday. So the last thing we're going to do is I am going to give you guys a bingo update. So for my new listeners and new watchers, one thing I've done this year is I created a bingo card for my goals for 2025. So I created a 5x5 bingo card. So that's 25 goals plus a free space. So it's 24 goals in a free space, to just kind of gamify and to have a visual of what I've accomplished this year. So not going to run through the whole list, but I do guys want to give you an update. So one, I have so a couple things I'm like in the midst of working on, and I've stepped out to work on them. So I'm really proud. So one thing that I haven't accomplished yet, but we're hopefully by next episode we'll have it together, is planning a girls' night. So I like I've shared with you guys before, my main group, it's hard to get us together because life be life, and even like other friendships I've developed over the last year. I've put it out there, so hopefully we can get something solidified for September. And I want to go to Chateau Alon. So like I'm kind of killing two birds with one stone. When we have the girls' night, it's gonna be at Chateau. They just don't know it yet because I'm gonna do. And once I go to Chateau, I'll actually have a bingo so I can like buy myself a little treat. But I will say that the thing I have accomplished, and y'all, this was so amazing. So on my bingo card, I said I want to do like monthly mother-daughter dates. And so I'm good about spending time with my daughter, but y'all, I've crossed it off because we had the ultimate mother-daughter date, and I don't think it can get any better than what happened. So back over the summer, I remember having a conversation, or it might have been before the summer, might have been in the spring. I was preparing to go to Chicago to like hang out with my sister because we went to go see Beyonce. And I was talking about concerts, and I was talking to my daughter who really loves music. I was like, hey, like, do you ever want to go to a concert? And so she was like, no, those aren't really my thing. She's like, but if I did, I want to go see like Katy Perry. I said, oh, okay. And fast forward, later that summer, I like saw a TikTok video of Katy Perry getting emotional about like during like a song, like performing. And it was talking like she, went through a breakup. And I was like, wait, didn't Katie and old boy just break up? I was like, wait a minute, this is now. I said, wait. I said, is Katy Perry on tour right now? I didn't know. So I did a quick little, on the Google search, and come to find out, Katy Perry was on tour. And so it was kind of almost ending. And one of the last stops was Atlanta. I said, oh my God, like, I've got to do this because my child said if she ever went to a concert, she would want to go to Katy Perry. And y'all, so I bought the tickets. I told her about it. She was excited. And it happened to be like, it was a school night. It was fine. Y'all, we went to this concert and a time was had. When I tell y'all, my child had the best time. She even said, this is one of the greatest moments of my life. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like she's 16. Like, y'all, and for me as a mom, as a single mom of a, a child on the spectrum, like seeing her, dance and sing, and like she even like got emotional. It was a major win for me, and I am just like truly like happy and blessed and excited that I was able to like give her that experience. A lot of people, they haven't like they don't go to concerts, and like a lot of parents, well, not a lot of parents, but some parents aren't able to do that for their child. And so that I feel truly grateful that I was able to provide that experience for her, but to have that experience with her too. Um, she said it was great. She said it was one of the best moments of her life. And I was just like that as a mom, just like that enough. So I was like, oh no, this is the ultimate mother-daughter date night. So it gets marked off on the bingo card. So I loved it, and it was great. And a time was had, and I let her skip school the next day. Not skip school, but we got home late. I was like, hey, if you're tired, if you have to recoup, stay home. So then she got a day off the next day. She got a mental health day. So like, oh, she was amazing. So that was really great. So that I marked that off the bingo card. So again, I'm almost at a bingo. There's a couple of things. I'm still kind of at the same place with the bingos. I have like two possibles coming up, and so I am excited to continue reaching for these goals. Again, I got the great lock in. The lock in is going to help me with my bingo card as well. So I'm really, really excited about what's coming up. I feel very motivated. I feel very happy. And again, I love having a visual. So again, if you are a visual person, if you struggle with kind of keeping up with your goals, maybe writing them down is not enough, I highly suggest a bingo card, a vision board, something like visual that you have to kind of remind you of the goals that you set for yourself. And I made mine in Canva. It's really simple. There's templates on there. So I said, I highly recommend it. So hopefully, next episode we'll have a bingo, because once I hit a bingo 5 in a row, I get to buy myself a Coach bag. Yeah. So I'm really excited. So yeah, so that's it. That's my update. All right, you guys, that is it for the episode. I would love to hear your thoughts. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, do all the things, and I will see you guys on the next episode. Thank you for listening to the Shy Yapper podcast, the calm before the overshare. I've been your host, Tiffany Hudson. Make sure you follow us on social media and join the Shy Yapper Society. See you next time.